Yes, welcome everybody. I'm your host Dennis van Dam, commentator on this race 2 of stage 1 of the DRA Challenger Series. As we head on to Baku City Circuits, let's have a look since a few drivers have gone on track already. The early birds of today are CRE and their QRT Jonah and Ear to Ramazan and DRA Kranenburg. Those are the first few on track for today. So let's have everything settled, media and all that. While QRT Jonah passes CRE and there. And QRT Marinette says rain in the race, so that will be very exciting, of course. No rain in the first race, of course, in Bahrain, where we saw TF, Jerry van Bussel, and TF Davy from the TF guys, where I guess it was Kaya and Mika who won there, got a 1-2. So these guys have to carry the luck, well, not luck, the skill from last race to this race. We saw yellow there, that was for Dino stuff here. But gets on track, of course. And let's have a look at QRT Jonah, because since he started late, of course. Let's get our menus out of the way and let's ride on board with QRT Jonah. Thank you viewers for watching already this early. Well, we head on to turn 2 with Jonah in the Aston Martin. Opens his DRS on the second straight. Heading on to turn 3, braking around 120 meters. Clipping the apex of this corner, gets on the throttle. Falls, braking around 50 meters. Clipping the apex. Heading on to this point, this is a nice one. Want to open up as much for the exit here. Under the boarding. Braking around 80-60 meter board. Taking a lot of this apex, of course, which is possible, but gets a little bit of oversteer and heads on into the wall. That's not good for him, of course. While we go on and watch with Theory Ender, who is back out of his lap. So don't know who is first here now. I think Ramazan, but he's on the medium compound tower, so it won't be that much. It won't be the full time, of course, but let's watch on anyway. Well, we see a few medium drivers also. Pino Gan and here to Samba also on the medium. We're at the end of the right hand curve, flipping the apex, going over the curve. Seeing some traffic ahead, that's his teammate, maybe going for the toe. That would work. Hello, One Ambrose. Hello. Thank you for watching the stream. Well, we add on this very fast back straight. Gets like almost perfect. No, it's just perfect go from ear to Samuel what he gets here. Maybe backing out the sandbag and go for the run himself. It's a fast lap of him at 39.1, which puts Ramazan first at the moment. Well, there Kranenburg with a 39.1 goes second on soft tire. Let's see who are the next. Limblix on the soft tire goes 1,000 quicker than Ramazan and puts him on pole position for the moment. Well, another Girafu drops down to 38.4, which puts him first by a flink margin. Next on is Steph, if I see. Yeah, Steph goes to the 5th and second row of the grid with a 39.715. Next up is the Aston Martin of Jabraka, who goes to P2. 2,000s behind Enalera Girafu. Next up is one of the TF guys, I think it's Jerry van Bussel, yes. And he crosses the line and goes to P3. Around half 10th behind Jerry Braka. Next up is Catterson going on the left while Davey is still on the left, it's invalidated. Next up is Shane. Let's look at the lap data. Oh, he's on an outlap, that's not necessary. Then we have Snarfia right ahead of Dan, and also gives this amazing toe. sound of the game drowns out a lot of sound. Well, thank you. Thank you. Let's see, is this a bit better? I hope this is better. If you can confirm, that would be great. Down goes to P6, around a 10 behind Samba, while Senna goes to P5 and Guard Racer goes to P4. Next up is Symbolics, but he's entering the pits. Let's see with the guys who still have to put a lap down, while Snarf is not improving. Let's have a look. Shane still on a lap. This is better, yeah, I see. That's great, thank you. Shane entering the third sector and goes 1 minute 14.3 and heads on to the back straight. This flat out section, this left right hander, and opens the DRS in a round. Well, let's see, I think the point is here, the yellow dot, the white line, as he opens DRS. Well, Davey goes to 37.8 and goes 6/10 faster, with also amazing toe of Jervin Bussell, and goes to P1 on an older set of softs. That's a great time of him. Well, we see, I think that's done, but he's not going really any much faster than his last lap. Well, Siri Ender is on an out lap, still has to put a lap down. Let's see, is Senna still on a lap or is he improving? Seems not. Next up Samba, but he's also not improving. Well, we have a bit of a cooldown from everyone. Few out laps. Let's see who's next up crossing the line. Seems like it is Guard Racer, but he's entering the pits. Next up we have Snarf is not on a lap. Shane, let's look at Shane. Oh, bit of a tumble. Scatters from behind and holds up. Gets hold by his own teammate and has to let go of the lap. While Jervin Bussell is also slowing down for oncoming traffic. While Davey also is slowing down. That's our most of the people, so let's have a look on who are on an out lap. Those are CXT, Sambelix, DRA, Kaleburg, SXT, Steph, and in front we have NLR, Jerufu, and Golm, Jabarka, and Golm is from QRT. What a lap by Davey, yes, for real. Whoa, that's that's crazy. If you are racing in F2, that's amazing. Well, good luck. First competition. Hope you can make it if so. Let's have a look who is the first. Thank you QRT Generic for following. Thank you. Well, Sen is still on an outlet. Who's the first to go on? Let's watch with Jerufu, who enters the first corner in 8th gear, of course. After that long straight, out of the pits comes an Alfa Romeo. Braking, and there is a Ferrari standing still to let Jerufu by. Opening the DRS here, out of the second corner, heading on to the third. I like your accent, Dennis. Thank you very much. I say F2 in this league. That is great. That is awesome. That's what I meant, you know? That's what I meant. Obvious, actually, but I don't know. While we watch with Jerufu, heading on to this corners. Oh, a lot of that apex. Takes really nicely, no oversteer. What we saw with one of the other guys. This seems really clean, clipping the apex on both sides. Not too much of corner cut right there. And has a nice exit. Heading on to the double left-hander. Full speed, of course, under the advertisements, of course. Oh, a bit of a touch with the wall right there on the right hand side. And then in front of him is Guard Racer, its teammate. A bit of toast, but runs out of track, and seems like his lap is kind of doomed. sad for him, of course. While we watch with who's next. Actually, Ender has gone to P2 out of my consciousness. Jabraka still on the lap. Did not improve in the first sector, but this seems really tidy. Maybe the second sector goes a bit quicker. Let's see. Yes, and he's improving by 2/10. Maybe we put in P2 at the moment. We're a bit out of road on that occasion. It seems like he's getting a toe for Purity Jonah. And this seems like a well-timed one once again. Let's have a look where this puts him. Maybe first lap he didn't have a toe. Maybe he goes to P2. And let's see. He goes to P2 with a 38.162. And drops his lap afterwards. Not going for the double push, of course. Next up we have Steph crossing the line. Goes to P8. Next up we saw a purple sector around there, but there's also Ramazan, but he's on an out lap. Then Senna is 5/10 down, and seems like Ender got a bit messed up and he's not getting a toe from him. So it seems like he's to do without. With a 5/10 improving around that, he will also put him in front of his teammate around P3, P2. Well, let's see where it puts him. Let's have a look. He goes to P2 with a 38.098. And next up is Ender, of course, crossing the line behind him. Samba improving by 6 around 7/10. Will also put him in P2, but a messed up toe from Ramazan. Looks like the timing is crucial, and that is of course true. And it seems like it's not that easy for all of them. But improved by 7.5 and puts him around 300ths of a second behind Davey with a really great time, 37.9. That's a great good time. Well, Dan goes to 37.9 without a toe. That's also a great lap of him. Well, next up are the Mercedes boys. Davey or Jerry now behind Davey. And behind them is Scatterson, if I say that right, in the Alpine. With yellow flag for Ferrari right there. And next up is Jonna, still not on a lap, but he goes to 37.8 on his first lap. That's a great lap of him without the toe even. So few tenths in there left in the tank, while we look at, I think that's Steph entering the pits. And next up we have another Aston Martin, but it seems like he's slowing down. Next up Senna, but he's down on his time. Seems like Ender is not pushing as well. While Sam is pushing, a bit of oversteer around there. But I don't think, no, it's also a slowdown lap, excuse me. And while Jerufu's exiting the pits. Kart Racer, is he on a lap? No, it seems not like. Mitch, is he on a lap? No, I don't think so, or maybe. Thank you for Baby Kaya for following, thank you. Ooh, bit of yellow sectors while people are waiting for another people to maybe give a toe. Mitch, not improving. Scatterson also not improving. Seems like Dan's on an off lap. York, thank you for following as well. Scatterson also has retired from the session. Don't know if there was an incident, but I don't think so. Let's have a look. Do we see some improvements? No, he's entering the pits. Jervin Bussell also entering the pits. And now almost everybody is entering the pits. Apart from Jonah, but he's also entering the pits, so excuse me. So let's have a look. Wow, in this bit of a, oh, we see already some outlaps. Whoa, this is not what we'd like to see, but okay. And seems like it's confirmed now. No, a bit of lag of him. Jabraka on an outlap and Jerufu on an outlap. Well, I'll put the stream in both. Let's get our link on. Thank you. Copy to the board. And head on to Discord. Jerufu on an out lap, starts his lap. Let's watch with him. Yes, heading on to the first sector. He was feeded first split. Right in front of him is Binary down, but he sees him and lets him go, of course. Logic thing to do. Improving by 2/10, bit of a luck there, but seems like it's all well and good. 2/10 will put him in around P7 around his teammate. Let's have a look while we have 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in the session. Samba with a bit of connection issues and now joining the session once again. But since he's in the pits, it's unlikely he will improve of his time. Well, Jerufu, I think, is the first one to cross the line. Well, Jabraka maybe has improved. No, he's invalid. So let's watch with Jerufu for the rest of the lap. Improved by 1/10. There's a lot of 10th in the second sector. And has no slipstream to make it up for him. So let's see where this puts him. Don't know if he's had a lap before with a DRS with a slipstream, but we'll see at the moment. Heading on to start-finish straight, and he goes 1.5 tenths quicker, and it puts him P8. Samba has left the session. Now let's see who's next. We see a Ferrari. I think that's Mitch, but he's on an outlap. Then it comes an Aston Martin on an outlap, and we see McLaren on an outlap, and Senna not on an outlap, but Brand's a bit out of road. Man, who's not on a lap at the moment? Who's behind that? Williams. Yeah, Semblex 4/10 improvement, and that puts him in P14 with a 38.6. Then we have, I think that's Snarfje, but it seems like he's not improving. And goes slow. Ender on a lap. Well, now it's looking like an... Yes, the AlphaTauri goes 2/10 quicker. That will put him around P16 in front of his teammate. So not that big of an improvement. Who's going to win, we think? I think Jonna or either Dan has really great chance of winning this one. Both with great laps without any kind of slipstream or help from another teammate. But let's have a look. Yeah, Kranenburg still improving around the 10th of his lap, would put him around P10, so that's not really great of improvement. Well, P11 is great for the strategy, but since we know the race probably in the rain, that won't matter that much, or it will come later. P11 for Kranenburg, while Dan is improving by almost 2/10 and goes to P1 for Benerel Dan. Great lap of him. Well, we see Mitch next to cross the line, but it seems like he's not improving. Then comes Jonna. 2/10 improvement. Will go under Dan again. And let's see. And yes, of course, 37.589. Sorry, excuse me, 9.4. Well, we see Ender crossing the line. 1.5 tenths improvement. Puts him P6. While Kart Racer right behind him goes to P5. Then we see two Mercedes. That's Jerry van Bussel goes to P5 with the toe of Davy. Next up, a yellow flag for him. And I think that's quali settled for the most of them. Yes, Jurgu and Mitch in the pits, excuse me. And we see QRT Jonah on pole with a really great lap of him. It's a 37.594. Behind him, Binary Dan with a 37.781. A 37.881 for T of Davy. Irti Samba goes with a 37.912 to 4th place, while on the 3rd row we see Jerry van Bussel and Kart Racer 22. The first one in the 38th is Senna with a 38.098 and puts him in P7. P7? Is there one? I don't think so. I have to say, for the ones who watched the stream of last week, I think I have improved by a lot, and I didn't practice, but we'll see. Sam is still joining and leaving the session. I don't know if he will make it to the start. Let's hope so. While we go on, the McLaren share the 4th row of the grid. Siri, Senna and Siri, and there behind them is Common Jabraka and the Aston Martin S60 Steph with the Williams on P10. Around the 10th behind him is Enora Jurufu and May the Rain come later in the race, and it starts on Trice. He's the one for the greater compound strategy. strategy. Excuse me. If the rain comes late in the race, he could put on the mediums and hold on to that. Great lap from Jonah GG. Yes, that was one awesome lap. DRA Kranenburg goes to P12, DRA Mitch goes to P13, Symbolix P14, Ramazan P15, Shane M 2006 in AlphaTauri goes to P16 behind him. His teammate, only a small fence separated between them. Biner and Schnarfje, not really good, put in a great lap and has to settle for P18 and has to gain the points in the race, of course, where the points will be shared. Session glitch, Chamber left and joined. That's always gonna be a glitch. That will be not nice. Can it be confirmed that that will be shit. That will be not so nice, but in the meantime, while everyone goes and settle this, I don't know if there's a glitch. Let's see. Lobby bugged. Yep, lobby bugged. So that's unfortunate. We have to reset the lobby. But I think Lars could settle this for me in advance. Oh no, that's sad. But then let's have a look at the standings. Yes. Welcome back to the formation lab of this race. Let's have a look, let's see if it's alright. I think it's alright with John on pole. Behind him is Dan in the rain. It's intermediate time. It seems like it's gonna dry up on the end of the race, as I think. Let's have a look if my audio is alright. So hello. Well, seems like you don't. Oh well, you do hear me. That's amazing. Yes. So let's have a look on the grid. All on inters, of course, unless it's gonna rain harder on the end of the or later this race. But it seems like it's not. It's all inters for everyone. Curity Jana on pole with Dan, like I said, behind him. DRA for the win, they say. Other has voted 6 people of the 21 watching, while Samba has left the session once again. Seems like he's still struggling with some desync issues. Well, Jana is the first to drive to the castle section. Davey in third, Samba then the ghost car at the moment. Seems like he will not be rejoining this race sadly, as Jerry van Bussel also passes him, since the AI really do go a bit slower on the formation lap. Kart racer from Alpine, from LLR in P6, CRE Senna and CRE, and there behind them go Jabraka. Behind them, Steph in P10, Giroffu in P11, teammate of Kart Racer. Behind them are the 2 Ferraris of DRA J. Kranenburg and DRA Mitch, a CXT Simblix. Behind them in P14, ERT Ramazan. Behind them, Shane M. 2006, while Sam has joined the session once again. So let's see what if it doesn't cause that many problems, I hope, for the rest of this race. MP and Earl Snarfje to round off the grid. Teammate of Dan. I think that's the biggest deficit between drivers. On one end we have Binary Dan, and on the other end we have Binary Snarfje, while Mitch has been disqualified. Same goes with 60 Simblix. Maybe have crashed into each other sadly, or else sadly, who cares anyway. Well, those two would care, because I think for the tire temp that's not one thing you would wish for. Well, I have to regroup myself, but let's watch on with the Aston Martin. Well, we see going the lights on. Let's not get this camera all rainy. That must not. Oh well, there we go. Please get clear. Yes, thank you. We're waiting for the lights to go on, and it's still waiting for the lights. Seems like Samba maybe has some issues still. Samba has left session, and then the lights go on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 10th February and the lights are off. And let's see what are the starts. Is done better way. No, seems like Davey has gone for an amazing start and pushes him to the outside, but crashes. Whoa. That's Jerry from Bussel or no? Oh man, that was Jana. Jana with a crash. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Cars race from P5 already into P4 of P5, P1 of course. Sorry, excuse me. That was not one thing you would wish for, especially for Jana. Seems like he may have also. Well, he has to brake for Steph. Maybe he has picked up some wing damage from that incident he had in turn 1. Seems like, well, what the game tells to me, seems like his front wing is still intact, while big snap of oversteer for him. Well, we see Dan in P4 has lot out to Senna and Kart Racer and Davey. So not that best of him. Samba already met a 3-second time penalty. Seems like the grid is a bit of shuffling going on right here. while Carter continues in the lead. He said he could not steer in, but still not good. Ay, Davey with the crash. Whoa, major lockup for kart racer. Behind him is Davey. It seems like he does make the corner, and Dan had a big snap. While Siri Ender is passing him, bit of a lockup, still getting used to the weather, the rainy weather. The interval. Let's get that out of the way. Well, that. Ooh, bit of a lift. Well, kart racer has the gap of 2 seconds. Maybe some of the drivers forgotten to put on a setup, which is not one thing you would push for. Tires were cold, of course, you couldn't turn in. To be expected. Well, major lockup still going around while Jake Kalenberg is passing NRL Jerufu. Into the pits goes QRT Jonna. Well, Jake Kalenberg completes the move, goes around the outside, while Samba also improves well side by side. It seems like some great action. Bit in the wall. Well, Sibilix has left the session as DNF'd in the pits. Has he gotten some wing damage then maybe? We'll see the strategy, enters. Ooh, going for down the inside. It's not the smartest thing to do. While Jake Hannenberg completes a move on Steph, who has maybe gone and puts Jerufu in the wall. While Samba now tries to put on a move. Ramazan a bit wide. Maybe Scatterson going for the move, bit of oversteer here, Shane behind them. From there we still have a struggling Steph, bit of oversteer around here again. All guys still struggling while kart racer has a now going down the inside. That's an opportunistic move from him. Then we have Samba, the smallest gap you can think of. Well, Ramazan then goes for the inside. Round 7, Catterson will watch, of course. Bit of a downshift, now going for the cutback, but it doesn't work. Ramazan covers it while attacking Steph. Now breaks late, but it ends up in the wall. And Senna or Snarfy gets collected by RT Ramazan. And we have another virtual safety car. Maybe that will translate into a full-blown safety car, but seems not like it since I don't see a yellow dot appearing. Kart Racing App has put on a great lead at the moment. While Davey is in the pits, has to put on a new front wing, of course, with that minor contact. And that puts Kranenburg in P7, Jabraka in P6, Jerry in P5. Now let's have a look. Quick look at the tire changes, the position change, and then we see that both kart racers Senna and Ender have gained 5 positions from the start, obviously starting in P7, 6 and 5, and now up in P1, P2, P3. So that's good of him. Also a great start from Catterson while we are underway again. So let's get out and get that away again. Yes, thank you. While Samba still pushing behind NR Gurufu. Bit of lockup, still a lot of lockups, and I think they won't be disappearing for the rest of this race. Of course, you want to minimize the amount of lockups since it will overheat your tires, especially on this track. From what I see, the left tire, all the right hand turns were a bit of a correction there, almost got collected by the wall, but still behind Jerufu. Seems like he has a lot of overspeed, really into the gearbox of Jerufu for 74. Seems like he's losing also a bit of time, has to lift a bit. Jerufu has to maybe wait a bit for a move on the back straight, but gets a bit of oversteer and leaves a small gap of 5/10. Don't want to make that many mistakes. Oh, misses the apex, and seems like he's not lining up the move perfectly on Jerufu and has to stay behind him for another lap while Scatterson is behind him. Bit of lap Samba, touches the wall, maybe a bit of front wing damage. Let's have a look, is he entering the pits or not? You cannot enter, no, he's entering the pits. So that's set for him. Both ERT guys out of the running early on, but maybe can regroup themselves after a maybe safety car. That would be good for them, of course. While QRT Jonah goes fast with a 52.094 and passes Samba, who's in the pits, of course. The smallest gap now is Kellerson behind, and Rufu takes the place of Samba in attacking him. Oh, struggling still with tire temps, of course, and still a bit of luck up. Seems like yes, here a bit of a luck up on the left front tire again, while his teammate Shane is behind them. Let's have a look. Almost a corner cut, maybe a corner cut. Would result, of course, in a 3-second time penalty, which will be added up to your race time in the end of the race. While we watch on with the AlphaTauris. Seems like the gap in the front are all a bit stabilizing around the 2 seconds. Seems like Senna is gaining a bit on Kart Racer, which the gap was just 2.4, I guess, before the virtual safety car, around that. So maybe Senna could put up a move in around a few laps time. Well, we see Senna still the closest gap in front with his teammate. Goes fast into the first left-hander and goes fast out of the right-hander, and maybe he could put up a move on his teammate. Maybe a bit of team orders going on. While we see Kranenberg. Oh no, DRA has collected some wing damage and has to box for a new front wing, which puts Jake Kranenberg in P6. And scrapes his front wing with the barriers on the outside, while Jonah improves his 52 to the first 51.9 at the moment, has the best pace of them all, and passes his teammate in the pits, who just exiting, bit of a lockup. Let's have a look still on the Alpine. Seems like Ender cannot keep up with the pace of DRA Senna, while Kart Race is still putting on a great race pace, excuse me. Clipping the apex on the first and not hitting it on the second, maybe unsettles the car. Bit of overtake being used. Rufu and Scatterson still on the same ERS levels. Maybe I can see, no, sadly I cannot. Gap is small, 3/10 behind. Seems like Rufu is also losing a lot against Jake Kranenberg. Well, let's take a little rundown. Followed by Senna, Kart Race followed by Senna, followed by Ender. Then behind him is Binary Dan, 3 seconds behind them, and then 1.7 seconds behind is Jerry van Boezel. Then Jake Kranenberg is following within 6 seconds behind them, and then we have the group of Jerufu, followed by Kellerson and his teammate Shane, and Davey behind them, who's maybe putting on a move. Well, we see a yellow flag and see Samba retire of this race. Maybe a safety car. Yes, safety car is out. Big crash of Samba. Got a bit of oversteer most likely, and ended up in the wall in the left or right hand side, depends on how he corrected himself. And lost the rear arm. So sadly for him, but great for these drivers. Jonah entering the pits also. DRA does the same. I don't know if that's a slicks. That's a slicks choice. The mediums go on. Seems like the rain is, well, let's say quitting, I guess. Earlier than expected. I must confirm. I really want to see the on part, because I do have to agree. It doesn't seem like there are. It's raining anymore. Let's have a look. Well, bit of droplets on my screen. I hope for him that's not the case. Well, yeah, of course it's the case, but let's hope it's not rain, but a bit of damp left behind. But I do agree that it's not really raining that much. Very interesting what other guys will choose. Let's have a look. Let's keep the tires in my screen. Everybody has gone to the medium compound here, so it seems like the obvious choice. Well, Snarfy does the same. Well, Kart Race obviously has, like we see in the Netherlands, de lead in his hands. De touwtjes in handen hebben. He can make the choice, can I go for the inters, and most likely the other guys will follow. But let's have a look. Great helicopter shots, of course, but it seems like he's entering the pits for some medium compound tire. I would like to see if someone is doing something opposite, but it seems like Ender is also entering the pits. It seems like Daan is entering the pits. Seems like Jerry Verbussel is entering the pits. Seems like, yeah, Kranenburg is entering the pits. It seems like Jerufu is going on to the right hand side. And it seems like the AlphaTauris are following him. Sad to see no interesting tire compound strategies. All going for the regular compound, medium compound tire. No, because there are mediums set for him and there are mediums set for Shane also. Great teleportation glitch. 22 viewers at the moment, thank you for watching. And gets spit by Druvu, who maybe had a nose change in there as well. Well, Shane had to wait for his teammate, of course, but since he was first in the pits. Now we head on to the group, and this is our, well, how do you just say that? The table of drivers. You do have a name for that, and I don't know. But let's have a look at the order at the moment. Yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. Kart Racer leading in P1, behind him is Series Senna. All the mediums, well, I'm not gonna say all the mediums because they're all the mediums. Seems more than logic to me. Followed by Binary Dan on the mediums. Well, I still said it. Well, ship me. Jared van Bussel, followed by Jake Kranenburg. Ketterson behind them, Davey behind him. Jerufu in the Alpine behind him. Shane, the teammate of Ketterson, behind him. Yurti Jonah, the pole sitter of today's race, has to put on a great show. Seems like a bit of an end of story. Let's hope. Of last race, let's hope it will not end up in the same tiers as last race. Followed by his teammate Jabarka, followed by Steph, followed by Mitch, followed by Ramazan, and to end off the order we have Snarfje. Also on the mediums. Let's look, are there some interesting? Well, nobody is with penalties at the moment. The gap seems like Snarfje has the only catching up to do together with Jabraka and the group of Steph, Mitch and Ramazan. Tires all on mediums, most stop. Well, Snarfje is already on the 3 stop, so has not had the cleanest of start, but willing to make up for it, of course, and still carry on with the race, not giving up and continuing this race, because there are always points up for grabs, because maybe some late drama could cause the whole field to DNF. Then we have to look at the position changes. We see Ketterson, who has gained 10 positions off the start, started in not last but pre-last, I think you can call it. Well, we see the order in P1 to 4, still same as before the safety car, no shifts in there. Down in P4, followed by Jared van Bussel, who has not gained any places, same as Ramazan. The biggest losers are Samba, who started in P4 if I remember correctly, and has DNF'd obviously in the crash before the, well, let's say the last real corner, the one in the most bottom-ish corner of the circuit, where you can see the circuit layout on the, is it the right hand side, right under hand side, I don't think those are the right words, but you have to believe me. Well, Snarfy is the only one who has to regroup. A biggest loser who is still driving is QRG Jonna, who's now in P11. Has some catching up to do. Let's hope he can continue that fast streak he had on the inters. Some few fastest lap, of course. Let's have a look. P10 behind him. Jabraka lost 3 positions. Steph lost 3 positions, and Mitch also lost a position. And the highest, most losing position is Davey. While we see race control, safety car in this lap. So let's get rid of this spectator menu and let's get ready for racing. Well, we see kart race obviously bunching up the field. Let's hope there won't be any 5 seconds penalties, so we just can continue this race. Obviously weaving the tires, maybe not expected the safety car to come in this quickly, but having to make up. Well, he catches him sleeping, and Ender is completely behind him. Second, I think, already behind. Yeah, second and 1/2000. Most of Wake. Let's see. Kranenburg goes alongside Jerry Bussel, brakes a little later, takes the outside, and that's a really great move of him, and settles to P5 behind Dan. Next up, we don't see any moves. Gap is 1/10 here, 3/10 between Dan and Ender. Maybe going for a move. No, seems not like it. The big luck up from Ender, which Dan also followed with a little tiny luck up. Maybe Jari van Kranenburg, of Jari Kranenburg, excuseer, can follow this group. One of the biggest winners in the top 5, or the biggest winner. Takes a lot of that inside curve and still following the group in front. Seems like Jabraka already with a bit of a gap to his teammate in front, with Steph in behind, followed by Ramazan, who is leaving a bit of a gap also. Same goes for Mitch, who is followed by Snarfy. Goes a bit of a track. The kart race is still in the lead, but has a Series Senna in his DRS, so has to maybe push to get him out of his DRS. Seems like he didn't use all that much in the first part of the track, but could push it all out right here, and already has gap up to 9/10 and 1 second. So he has to push Senna to keep up with a kart racer. 31 viewers at the moment, thank you for watching. We are at the restart while Davey is alongside Catterson and overtakes him for P7, while I saw Senna in the top hand of my screen going to the fastest time. 4/10 is the gap between Ender and Senna, followed by Dan. Well, Mitch is entering the pit, seems like he picked up some wing damage. And well, the sun has gone through the clouds, and seems like there was the right decision to go on the mediums. No gambles. So let's have a look. Davey making up for lost ground, of course, after the little touch. Same goes for Jonna, who has overtaken Shane. So we see a bit of a gap issuing between Davey and Van Bossel. Also always tricky, this castle section. Really need to get comfortable with the car at the moment. Not have any oversteer or understeer. Really trust on your car to steer in and not create any kind of weird moments. Bit of a luck up from the Alfa Romeo of Beanery down. Well, Senna is still second behind, and the DRS may be open this lap. So let's have a look. Does the DRS go open? Let's have a look. It should be opening around here, but it seems like it's not open yet, so it will open this lap. Kart race goes to the fastest time with a 49. Well, we see, are there any moves shaping up behind 3/10s between them? Steph is 1/10 behind Jabraka and overtakes him, goes down the inside and collects P12, or runs a bit out of road on the right hand side. but gets the move done on Jaworka. Seems like Davey is really capable of keeping up with the guys in front. Made a big lug up and does have used more ERS than the guys in front, seems like. Oh well, Yari is low on ERS. Dan not, Ender is above 50% I think, while Senna has used all of it, but it did work since he is within a second. Well, Kart Racer has still a bit of ERS left to use to get out of the gap, and does so, creating a 1 second gap where Senna goes under once again. Bit of a luck up. Ooh, really close to the wall, of course. Pushing the limits and hoping not to go over these limits. 8/10 is the gap at the moment, using his last bit of ERS to get within the DRS, but it doesn't work for him and gets out of it. Maybe some team strategy plays could come in handy here. Red light is blinking. We see John at 4/10 behind and Jurufu. Well, I think seems like there are some team strategies coming into play. Maybe Ender can put up the catch to Kart Racer. Well, Jurufu could defend from Jonna. Further no moves. And we see now Jervin Butzel has locked out of the DRS with Kranenburg. And now it's Davey behind him. Maybe brake a little to get to make sure Davey got within the DRS train, but now has to make up lost time for that. Gaps are closed at the moment, but one gap that isn't closed is DRA Mitch. In P16 had to pit after some wing damage, and Ramazan and Snarf not really able to follow the group, and Kart Racer putting on some amazing pace, which put him in P1 at the moment, and would most likely stay there for a few laps when tire deck comes into play, and we see the Sergio Perez's come out, or well, let's hope. Ooh, gets really close to Jurufu, but no damage there. Well, Dan is now 3/10 behind Senna, who's still blinking. With a bit of overspeed, he could get past. Seems like Senna almost is out of DRS, well, not completely. Is he going for the move down? Maybe a crucial move to make here. Yeah, and the DRS goes open. Goes around the outside of Senna, who loses his last bit of ERS around the outside. No touches, seems like a clean move from him, and goes into P3. Great move from Dan, which gets him on the podium positions for Binel Ari. Seems like that's the only move which has been made on that straight. So good, we could watch with that. While we see Jervin Bussel able to get within the DRS, within Kranenburg, and Davey can follow. So we have a train of around, let's say, is that 8 cars? Yes, that's 8 cars, or 9. That's 9 cars. To correct myself, that's Ender to Purity Jonna within the train. Jonna not able to make the moves. Got out of this safety car period in P11 and now only has come up to P10. Well, Davey, I think, came from P10 after the safety car period and now is up into P7. Dan maybe can go for P2. Or will most likely follow CRE's and Ender. Senna really low on ERS, using his last bit. Seems like he's on 0. Wanting to get out of the DRS, but I don't think it worked. Well, he also is on 0 ERS and is not gaining that much. But that's obviously a bit logic. Well, from here we can see the DRS was open. Well, we see Giroux really close behind Ketterson, followed by Jonna. and they're now kind of closing into Kart Racer. Gap was 1.7, now 1.5, but it's shifting most of the time. Now almost entering 1.4, and yes, but then out of it. The roof goes a bit wide, bit of oversteer from Jonah. Well, we still have to wait for a move. Seems like Binary Dan is most likely to make a move at this stage of the race. The only one who has one in front who doesn't have DRS. Maybe waiting for Ender to close into around 1.2, 1.3 seconds. And then go for the move, so he slingshots himself within the DRS of Kart Racer. And could go for the win maybe. So most of the drives not completely out of the race. Sup? Firmware games. To be completely honest, I don't really know what even the HZ even is. So, excuse me. And if you want to promote your league, well, I guess you would only do that in a league where there are some great drivers, and you've come to the right place, since we are better. Thank you. Binary Dan completes the series, completes the move on Siri Ender, goes to P2, now has to get on the pace of Kart Racer and maybe a bit of well, I did understand it was a racing league. And that's not that hard, since it's a comparison between a league and, well, what other. Seems like Dan is losing a bit of time against Kart Racer. Not making the most of it. 33 viewers at the moment, thank you for watching. This is an, well, let's say, it's a race where they are all, it's a DRS train race, so a typical one. Where only the moves are happening at front, or when somebody doesn't have DRS in front, and that's the case with Shane and Steph. So most likely we'll see him move from Steph heading on to the back straight. And we also see Dan entering the 1.9s again, while having lost a bit of time in the middle sector, now making up for it. While he did get a gap against Ender. So maybe his pace is good versus the McLaren guys. Well, Mitch has picked up a 3-second penalty and seems like he isn't really making the best out of this race. Gaining on Snarfy. Well, Jonah goes for the move on Ketterson and maybe can collect Davey with a dive too. No, it doesn't seem like it. Well, Ketterson has to slot behind them. Now going for a little sneak. I'm here, says Jonah. Watch out for me. Close behind. Is he going for the move here? ERS is enabled, but same goes for Davey. Jari has to defend while Davey goes for a late launch. Steps! Kranenburg, a bit of a squeeze. Davey, maybe some wing damage. Same goes for Jonah. And Ketterson to P6 and Jerufu to P7. Not too happy, of course, for Jake Kranenburg. Obviously a mistake from Davey. And it went into a gap that wasn't possible. Jake Kranenburg, of course, with high tire temps, not able to really keep the car in a straight line. While Jonah is passing Davey, bit of a tap to Jerufu. Then we see some yellow flags for who is that? That's Jonah, I think, who's holding up this train. Jerufu now in P7. Has he picked up some wing damage? Seems like it. Yep, he's lost his left end plate. Now he's to defend. Bit of a tap with the wall. Security Jonah in P7. Now has to watch out for him, since Jerufu does have zero pace around here. Maybe smacks the wall on the left or right hand side. What is Davey doing again? Second time, yes, that's not. Ooh, that's a really. Whoa, whoa. That's one hell of a move. Jerufu now defending from Steph. of course wanting to claim that pit lane position, while Jonah does the same. Oh, really slow into there. Well, Steph goes for the move and makes it. Whoa, leaves some race for Shane, leaves some space for Shane. Well, Jabraka is following while Steph breaks a little later. Leaves enough space, bit of oversteer at the moment. Shane go with the same. Now Jabraka goes for the double move. And seems like it's working into P7. He goes back to the racing line. Steph goes to the inside once again, but seems like he's not able to make any kind of a move for Jabraka, and Steph has to slot behind. So makes a move on Shane, but lose one to Jabraka, who gains one on both of them. Catterson now up into P6, 11 precision game. Really great race from him. I hope you guys are enjoying my commentary. I think it is going a lot better than last time. While Dan is still at the 2-second gap between Kart Racer. Maybe conserving his tire for a last, well, let's, how do you call it, a last blowout, you could say. Davey now in P16, had to box of course after that damage. Yeah, is behind Ramazan, still able to go for the points. Didn't pick up any wing damage. Ramazan, is he defending or is he not? Seems like he's not. Steph behind Jabraka now going for the move. Can he go around the out or inside? Goes for a no, doesn't go for a late move and stays in P8, I think. Yes, P8. Well, we see yeah, Caliber still behind him. If the guys in P2, 3, 4 and 5 still want to make a shot for the race win, they maybe need to start working together and maybe with some DRS power start overtaking each other to get to Kart Racer. Rick van Brabant says CRE fist bump, or fist bump, that's not a fist bump, that's how do you call it? A muscle, yeah, tricep. Or your biceps? I don't think. Oh, biceps maybe. That emoji, of course. Of course, they are in P3, P4, still able to maybe get the double move on Dan, who's not low. He's decent on ERS, same as Kart Racer. Seems like they are both on the same pace. Well, Ender and Senna are following, and Jared van Bussel now, with the red light bleeping for Senna, maybe can go for a move. Since he himself is not bleeping. Let's have a look. TF standing for Talent Factory. Using all his talent to put on alongside Senna. Or Ender, excuse me. And goes, yes, he makes the move stick and goes to P4. That was Senna. So I was correct on the fourth time, excuse me. Now Dan has lost a few tenths versus Kart Racer, still putting up a masterclass of a race. Seems like in the rain he was the fastest, and now again in the dry he seems like the fastest driver also. Yellow flag there. That's Jan Kranenburg without a front wing. And that's just after the pits, so he has to put on with a whole lap of wing damage. Will probably end up in last place after this lap when he pits for the new front wing. And he really needs to hope for a safety car. And if there would be a safety car, what would these guys do? Will you go for the softs and maybe get a amazing comeback race in a few laps time? Or would you still stick to the mediums and hope they can make it till the end? Well, yeah, he picks up another 3-second time penalty. All bad things going on at the same time. Well, it seems like Dan really is losing the pace to Kart Racer. Maybe he's losing momentum, or Kart Racer is only gaining momentum. Yellow flag. Is it Ikriari maybe in the wall? Doesn't seem like it. Well, John is still in P12. Further, no yellow flag. Seems like without a front wing. Now Giroux has to watch out. Jai maybe lets him go. Very smart of him. Will he hit the wall? No. Now Mitch is behind, hits the wall for a bit. Maybe, hopefully no damage for him. Yes, he also lets Mitch past. He goes up to P14. The only guys are with a penalty are the DRA, the DRA guys. Mitch and Jari Kranenburg. Jana going for a move on Snarvia. Maybe it's Jonatas. But he prefers Ertz. Ramazan has picked up some wing damage and has to go to the pits. Well, seems most likely, of course. Yep, new front race, new front wing in the hands of the head mechanic, and has to put it on. So not a great race of Ramazan, Jake Handenburg and Davy, who now overtakes the both of them, I think, or maybe Ramazan not. No. Well, Davy sets 1:39.752 and gives him the fastest lap, but not the point, of course, since he is out of contention for points, unless a safety car could happen. Kart racer still in P1, bit of a luck up, down behind, and they're behind, and Jerry behind them. Senna now has to not use his ERS like first, and maybe just has to focus on getting the rate pace. Then the ERS. Looks like the race is settling in a bit, no moves really happening at the moment. Adam is still saving his ERS, or well, not really, on 20% at the moment. Same goes for Ender, Jerry also on 20%, and it seems like 8 or 5% or 10% for Senna. Ketterson behind them, he's literally nothing. 5%, Jabraka behind them, Steph behind them, Shane behind him, it's not them. Jona behind him, Snarvia behind Jana in P11 on the, how do you say that? On the, again, unlucky today, the Tracing lines. And it seems like it's only going from bad to worse since Mitch has to box for front wing. Incredibly unlucky today. 3 incidents out of control, that's also totally true. Caused by Steve Davy. Not maybe not the cleanest or maybe not the focus at the moment, since he does have a bit of pace. Yes, like Marinette says, same driver 2 of the times. If I was under control, of course, you wouldn't let that happen, but it are the drivers and you can't really do anything about it. It's sad, it does happen, and it is a bit of racing, but hope he learns a lesson, Davey, not to, or not to, I don't know, not to be that pushy, just to be calm and collective and be smart about the moves you are making, not in the weird spots. Well, Dan and Ender are fighting, Ender completes the move on Dan. Not really working together still at the moment. Now down behind, Jerry behind him. Bit of a luck up. Same for Dera. Yep, same for Dera. Really a lot of, I think, pit stops made by them. Yep, 4 pit stops from Mitch and 2 from Kranenburg. Well, from Jari perspective for sure. Well, I have to agree on that with you both. Jari obviously in P5 for a moment, got overtaken by Jerry van Bussel. And then he came in a clinch, or how do you call it, a bit of a crash clinch, where Davey both was attacking from Jari as defending from Jonna, if I remember correctly. Yes, it was Jonna. And got tagged on the left rear by Davey, which spun him in the 3rd corner. Well, we go on with the lead pack. Down, losing a bit of pace versus Ender. Mitch just unlucky 2 times that the tires locked up and hit the wall slightly. but then you could argue locking up is your fault. Is the DRS opening for down? Is the DRS opening for down? I do think so, can't really see. Oh yes, it's open. Was on the cusp of having or not having DRS. Well, Daan has a 3-second time penalty. Same goes for Ender, that puts Jerry in P2 at the moment. So seems like Ender got a bit out of shape on the exit and Daan followed. A bit of a moment there from Daan. And Jerry now on the front row on P2, if he can stay within them. Seems like Senna then will be joining on the podium in P3. Only thing one can do is, well, not really much. Seems like they are destined for P4 and P5 at the moment, Ender and Daan, but still fighting who gets P4 and who gets P5, while DRA Mitch goes to 39.60. Jerry now in the sweet spot, and Kart Racer almost good for the race win, since well, we have not seen him much today, and that's just great for him, I guess, since no incidents, just pulled out after the first lap of the DRS from Senna at the moment, I think. And then just calm and collectively drove a great, really great, amazingly great race pace, which still puts him in P1. No penalties, no weird moments, just clean driving. And you see that when you drive. Just a good, normal race. Bit of a oversteer moment. Has to correct slightly, not too aggressively, not overheating the tires. Just calm and collective. Well, all cars are bleeping off ERS now. Bleeping, if you would like me, if you would like to use me, that word. That word. Well, grammar still not on point, but it's going a lot better than last race, and that's great. Also for my personal development. See, I can talk a bit of English. I can. It's not amazing, but I can. While we watch on the only group who are between 10s, and there are some few pit stops once again. Ramazan going slow, almost get overtaken by Davey. Well, Davey has to pit for softs. Another set, maybe going for the fast lap. Almost getting jumped. Well, Jari in last space is, let's say, does he have to box maybe for... Seems like he had a lift, maybe a bit of a tangle with a wall. Does he go to the left? And yes, sadly he goes to the left. So that means that Kranenburg will be probably the only one to be lapped this race, since Kart Racer is heading on a start finish at the moment and passes the Ferrari of DRA Kranenburg. Still followed by Ender and Daan and Jerry and Senna. Seems like no position shuffles, while Senna has dropped out of ERS, so that maybe if he can come back, Ender and Daan could push for P3. Light bleeping of Ender, big large lockup from him. You see how that loses your time big time. Let's double up. Senna already gaining a bit of more time, and once again missing the apex a bit. Seems like the tires are a bit done. A bit of luck up once again. It are 20 laps what you are doing on this tire, so that's pretty big. And that puts Senna right into the DRS. Maybe a bit of a strategy coming into play, hoping Ender can stay in P2. Seems like Daan has the DRS advantage, while Jerry is just following, knowing he would easily end up in P2 if he doesn't get attacked by Senna. Purity Jonna now with a 3-second time penalty, who's followed by Shane, so he maybe can overtake Yona. So if you look, a bit of a touches the curb on the inside. Oh, Dan overtakes Ender and takes the lead of this train, this 4-car train, to the end of the lap, hoping Ender cannot overtake him in the last few corners. What we saw last time is when one car overtook the other car, they did lose some time, while Ender is overtaking Dan at the moment and almost puts him in the wall, but doesn't seem like it. Ender still wanting the lead of this train, heading on to the final time over start finish. And let's see, around 14% of ERS of Dan and Ender also on the same amount, so it would be tricky for Dan to still overtake him. 5/10, would that be enough? I really do not think so. I think the gap would be around 4.5 tenths, which he is doing around now. But the last lap has gone in, while Jonna is overtaking Steph on the inside. So here we will see no side by side, I hope. No, Jonna just overtakes him. Well, Senna, or Kart Racer, excuse me, goes to the last few corners of this race, completely in control this whole race. Kart Race from NLR, his first race in DRA Challenger Series. No incidents, no crazy moments. One thing in particular, an amazing start which put in P1 and did not lose it. P1 is for Kart Racer. Oh, well, let's see, I need to follow that order. Jerry, of course, in P2 from TF, putting on the only great results from P1 in the standings. Now maybe dropping to P2, but they did have a great lead over QRT, who didn't really score either, while Steph still overtakes Jonna. Senna in P3, Ender in P4, followed by Dan, did not overtake him on the last straight. Came short of around 3/10. 10 seconds behind is Jabarka from QRT, the best scoring QRT driver. Great recovery from QRT, completely true, Marinette. That was a great recovery. Jonna obviously getting taken out at the start and still got a few points. Sadly got overtaken by Steph, who is having no tire. Same for Mitch if he keeps going like that. Garrison, a bit of a, well, not a race where you don't see him, but a great race nevertheless. Coming from P17, gets 10 positions and comes home with what is it? I need to count 1, 2, 4, 6 points. 8 points for Jabarka, down in P5. Drufu just falling out of the points in P11 while we hear the sound playing as the last few drives came over the line. Great recoveries, not only from the grids but also from myself after that horrendous first race, in my opinion, where we see the Alpine of, I think that, what's his name? I don't know. Agent Ackerman, Casper Ackerman. The race director, well, we see some rain droplets obviously presented in the 1 to 6 laps. Well, we see Kart Racer, the German, in the Alpine winning the race from P6. Amazing start, just thinking of it again. I want to see that one again. Jerry Busel in P2, gaining from that 3-second time penalty. Senna following him, Ender following him. So great race from the series guys. Dan in P5, Jabarka P6, Ketterson in P7. 8th comes Steph, Jonna in P9, Shane in P10, Ender Jerufu in P11, P12 is Snarfje. 13th is DRA Mitch, 14th is ERT Ramazan, 15th is Tevel Davy, 16th is DRA Kranenburg, 17th is Earth Samba, and 18 rounds of the grid is SXT Symbolics. So no points. Oh no, no points for the DRA guys, sadly. Fast lap goes to DRA Kranenburg with 39.195, but really doesn't gain anything out of it since you need to be in the top 10. Well, Jana also came close with 39.7, only 6 cents. Fast lap from the top 10. I really hope you have enjoyed the stream. Maybe some guys not secure team Marina, maybe not, since the guys could have gotten a better result, of course. Sadly, Davey kind of messed it up, both for Jekanenburg and Curity Jana, who came in pole. Great lap of him, obviously in qualifying, but sadly there are no points for qualifying. I hope you have enjoyed the stream. I hope you have enjoyed the racing. I hope you have enjoyed my commentating, as I'm also trying to improve myself. Next up, 7th February, 9 PM CET, same time as this race. We'll be heading to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, to the little knife, as some people see it, the fast and twisty circuit, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys do. I hope everything can be settled after this race, better than last race, and I hope to see you guys all back on the grid. Same goes for the team bosses. Thank you for watching. As I end with the last 60 seconds with a little sound, I want to thank you once again, and hope to see you next time. Thank you.